What is up? What is up, SuperDraft family? JC Money Design here, hanging out with my man, Coach Craig. We're going to talk a little bit of SuperDraft Pro basketball, get some lineups in. We'll talk about what happened last night, and we did pretty well. If you would have listened in, our lineup, the lineup that we did you would have probably hit around 20th to 22nd. But if you would have made a last minute change like we did, like I said, if you were paying attention to basketball a little bit, paying attention on what's going on, you could have made a little change like we did, and we finished with top four.
Yeah, top there. So it's third in the elite, fourth or second, third in the elite, second in the pro, and then like fourth or fifth in the basic one. But yeah, we did kind of mention that pivot in the show yesterday too. If both the Jazz centers were out, that Jokic would be looking pretty good. So Jokic over Nurkic in that case, which they both played at the same time either way yesterday.
Yeah, I think we did pretty well. I'm pretty happy with the outcome from yesterday. Let's see. What do we want to get into first? Let's get into some studs. Talk about some studs from last night. You know, there's our studs that we talk about. They are, one times multipliers to 1.65 multipliers. So let's talk about it. I mean, Seth Curry. I mean, sorry to anybody that missed out and misheard us say, Seth Curry, not Steph Curry. Hold on, let me get to some of these guys real quick. What's up, David? Talking some hoops. Yep. Tony, what's up, Tony Tone? Fucking Antonio in the building. What up, family? What up, family? Happy New Year to you, Tony. Let's go. Let's talk some basketball. So yeah, I mean, Seth Curry, man, he went bananas, and you called it out. You did. You called it out.
And at least in the elite contest, I didn't really look at the ownership percentages on the other one. So he was 1% owned in the elite contest, which means 3 people played him, and that was at least me and probably 2 other people that watched the show yesterday. So he was great. He got over 80 points after the multiplier. Not too much else you can say there. Every time he plays that point guard position, he does very well. And he did, he was way better than his brother, even without the multiplier yesterday, because his brother's going to be on the dud list coming up. Then we had Nikola Jokic after that, who balled out. The Jazz essentially didn't have a center left. They had my boy Udoka Azubuike out of Kansas, but he's coming off an ankle injury. He only ended up playing 16 minutes. So it was Nikola Jokic versus Rudy Gay last night, and that is not a favorable matchup for Rudy Gay by any means. We went back to the well with Sabonis, though, and he had a triple-double last night. So for the people that kept coming in and chirping and doubting us, Sabonis definitely paid off yesterday.
Yeah, he just had one. He just had a little off game, and it's going to happen. These do happen. It happens.
And it was mainly because he only shot the ball 9 times too the game before. It just didn't work out for him. And then Pascal Siakam, he had a nice bounce back game too. We saw the floor game out of him the night before, and then last night he got to that 68.7 after the multiplier. So pretty solid core, pretty solid group of studs there overall. And we played pretty much most of those guys.
Hell yeah. We did really well. We did really well. I'm really proud of our lineup that we came up with. I mean, you hit on Seth Curry, and that's if anybody wants to, hear it, like he just said, 3 people in the contest. That's what a hit. What a hit.
It's probably, and it was myself and probably 2 people that were watching yesterday, and that was probably it. So we had a big advantage on the competition right there.
Well, I know I had it, so that's 2 people.
Yeah.
So what up, Hus? What up, dude? What is going on, fam? Tonio says, what up, hustler? Oh, shit. Second take extra in the building. Oh, shit. I was going to say something to him yesterday. Who was the guy I played? I pivoted off of him because of someone. Let me pull that up quick.
I know he was talking about a couple different.
Little.
Yeah, he wasn't that great.
He did terrible.
Yeah.
Yeah, he 1.75 multiplier. He shot us to the moon. He said he's going to be going to the moon, and he did not.
He fell a little short of the moon.
Yeah, I was looking at Wiggins too. Come on, baby, work. Yeah, I was looking at Wiggins too. I mean, I think he could potentially be somebody that's going to hit tonight.
Yeah, so he's asking if Wiggins gets 22 points, probably. Without Steph Curry out there tonight, without Draymond doesn't score anyways, but that's all besides the point. And Jordan Poole, usually takes that big step up when Steph's out there, but he's been limited. He's been coming off the bench since he got back from COVID. He really hasn't played more than 24 minutes, so his scoring might be a little bit limited too. So Wiggins is probably going to have to be the guy tonight.
Hell yeah, dude. I'm going to pivot, I think, on one of the lineups I have, and I'm going to throw Wiggins in there just to see what happens.
Yeah.
Antonio, Hustler's saying, what up to Antonio? Says, what up to Second Take Extra? Second Take Extra says, yeah, Nasir missed his threes. My bad. It happens. Like I said, it happens. And you're somebody that I trust too, Second Take Extra. So I will take your word, and it happens. I'm not upset about it. That's why I played like multiple lineups, and I just take shots.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so let's get into some of our duds. Some of the duds. All right, so
James Harden here.
One time multiplier to 1.35 multiplier. Just kind of our little main slate guys.
Yep. So James Harden, he did not pay off. Kyrie Irving was back last night, so I was kind of off of James Harden and Kevin Durant either way. Durant, if you played him, he still was he would have been all right. But Kyrie being back definitely impacted James Harden last night. Steph Curry, he did not play well. He got a little bit banged up towards the end of the game as well, too. So that kind of affected him, but his shot was not going down at all. He was just hoping and wishing he could be his brother yesterday, honestly. Then it was not a good day for the Warriors overall because Draymond had a rough night too. So he only ended up with 21.26 points. Obviously, Steph had 31.25 and James Harden had 35.25. I forgot to say those earlier. Kind of a down night for Joel Embiid. He only had 43.25 points. He wasn't bad, but he wasn't really bad when you just look at the numbers, but it just wasn't what we expect out of Joel Embiid on, an average nightly basis, at least.
Yeah, I mean, it happens too with Embiid. I mean, he has been tearing it up lately, but once again, you know what? Shit happens. People fall. Not much you can do about it. Like it's pivoting. Like if you would have pivoted off Sabonis last night, right? You would have been a little upset.
Mm-hmm. And I see the Second Take Extra there. His question, he asked if Evan gets 11.5 points, and I'm assuming that's Evan Fournier, and he had 0 points last time out, so I am not betting the over on 11.5 points on him. And they're really splitting his minutes between him and Isaiah quickly lately. So whoever's kind of hot tonight is going to get the minutes. So it's not a bet that I'd make myself personally.
Ooh, Big Al Harford.
Yeah, he's definitely play. He's going to play once again tonight. So he's still got that 1.35 multiplier. It is a back-to-back. A lot of the back-to-backs this year he has rested. He sat out, but we have no news of that yet. There could be some. Usually you get that news earlier on in the day, but he only played about 27 minutes yesterday. So if he gets upward that 30-point threshold once again, he could definitely make it, a case for top center on the slate, especially being the short slate that it is.
Hell yes. So let's talk about some of our dart throws from last night. Dart throw darlings that kind of hit. I know there was a couple other ones too that you sent me, but these are the ones that I threw up.
Yeah, so the main one like that we kind of mentioned too was Anthony Simons, 1.8 multiplier, got 47 points before the multiplier, 85.05. This is back-to-back games that he's played very, very well. Obviously, he didn't have the 43 real life points once again, but we weren't expecting that either way. But he was just a good play at 1.8. The next time Portland's on the slate, expect his multiplier to drop quite a bit. Then we had DeMarcus Boogie Cousins, 1.75 multiplier. Our boy that we played last night, Bobby Portis, he got in foul trouble. So DeMarcus Cousins, he came in, he played about 21 minutes. He had a double-double. He had, I believe it was 3 steals and 1 block, which is just crazy in this format overall because that's a free 12 points. Then you take that 12 points, multiply it by a time or 1.75, and you're talking like 18, 20 points right in there, all right off the sudden. But yes, I do see that the extra take. So Boogie did end up getting cut after this game because today his contract would become fully guaranteed for the rest of the year. So the Bucks would end up cutting him because they want to have an open spot on their roster in case of a trade. So he's going to get picked up by somebody, especially the way the NBA is going right now. He's definitely played well. He's earned his keep, but just wasn't with the Bucks.
Yep. I mean, it is what it is, right?
Yep. It's a business. It's a business. Yeah, and then so we had DeAndre Bembry was on here too. I don't think anybody actually ended up playing him, but 2x multiplier. If he got enough minutes, he was definitely intriguing. But he ended up with 31.5 points, 63 points overall. So that was definitely a good play if anybody was brave enough to play him. I don't think anybody was yesterday. Devin Vassell, another guy that we mentioned yesterday, 0.75 multiplier. He had 29.2 points before the multiplier, 51.1 after the multiplier as well. So definitely paid off there. Lance Stevenson was another name in there. There was one person in the league contest that just randomly played Lance Stevenson, although he only played 17 and 13 minutes the previous 2 games. The first 2 games with the Pacers, ended up playing 32 minutes last night, scoring 30 real life points. He just shot the ball incredibly well. So you can't really expect that one to happen more times than not. And then the other guy that we had kind of talked about back and forth being on there was Contavious Caldwell-Pope. He had 24 real life points last night. He's only had 3. That was his 3rd game over 20 points this whole season, only averaged 11 points on the season. Not a guy that you're going to expect to go out there and do that. He also ended up playing 40 minutes. So some things are predictable in basketball. Every once in a while, you have a few outliers like that as well.
What's up, everybody that just came in? I just want to remind you, you need to go get subbed up on my buddy Coach Craig Sports YouTube page. Let me throw this shit up real quick. I mean, we want everybody to. This is a community. This is a family. We want everyone to be helping each other out. So go get signed up. He does some stuff in the morning too for FanDuel. He does some stuff for DraftKings, and he also updates any injuries and anything else like that. So hit him up, get some subbed up, and just hit that like button. It helps everyone out. It really helps everyone out. And also go get subbed up on mine as well. We are going to be doing this every single day. And it could be twice a day. We are going to be doing every day for basketball. But I mean, if the like say it's a football day, we'll still be doing a football content as well. So we're going to be trying to get every single day doing basketball, and then every single day also doing the subscription based stuff for SuperDraft Pro.
Yep.
So yeah. All right, let's get to tonight's stuff. Let's get to the initial look for tonight's plays.
Yep. So that was the one from last night. Let's see. Give me 1 second. I gotta make the screen bigger. I can never see it when it's all that together. But yeah, if you just want to go over to the like the guards and the forwards and stuff like that too.
Yeah, sure. We can do that too. So this is kind of just the initial look. I just make a graphic for it. It looks nice,
Yep. Sometimes we'll throw that out ahead of times as well.
Yep. So be on the lookout too. Twitter, Instagram. My Twitter, JC Money Design. Coach Craig Sports got his Twitter. So go follow. You said it's just Coach Craig Sport, right, on Twitter, because it didn't fit.
Yep, because you can only have 15 characters. So
go give us a follow too, because there will be extra content that does come out for basketball stuff.
Mm-hmm.
All right, boom. Some guards in play here.
Yeah, so this is a very small slate. It's a 4-game slate. We start at 6:30 Central Time. At least we're going to use that one since we're both in Central Time. There's one game right away at 6:30. There's 2 at 7 o'clock, and then there's 1 at 9 o'clock. So a very small slate overall. But in terms of the guards, the ones that we have with the kind of regular multipliers with 1x to the 1.65, we got Ja Morant, likely the potential, or I don't want to even say likely, but potentially the top scorer on the slate. He's been playing very well. Had a little bit of a down game the last time out, but goes against a very favorable matchup in the Detroit Pistons. He's got that 1.1 multiplier still. So going to be a very good looking play for him. There still could potentially be without, Dylan Brooks and who's the other one? D'Anthony Melton tonight. They are still both questionable. We kind of have them on the injuries too. If you don't mind, I'll just go through the injuries real quick too.
Yeah, go ahead. Anything you want to do, man.
Yeah.
I mean,
yeah. So the big ones like for tonight is Steph Curry and Draymond Green are both out. Otto Porter Jr. and Andre Iguodala are both in. They both missed last night, but it was just a rest day for them overall. Nerlens Noel, we just got news that he's out. So we're looking at some Taj Gibson, some Mitchell Robinson once again. If Mitchell Robinson ends up starting, probably looks a little bit better, but he's been coming off the bench and actually playing rather well, but still not the greatest on SuperDraft unless he kind of has that boom night. Isaiah Stewart is in for the Detroit Pistons, so that kind of kills off some value that we were getting out of Trey Lyles the past 2 games. And then Dylan Brooks, D'Anthony Melton are both questionable to play. And then Nicholas Batum does return tonight for the Clippers.
Good news.
Yeah, I see we got a couple things coming in here too. He was talking about Valanciunas with technically the Warriors do have a center and Kayvon Looney. Draymond's not a real center anyways, but Valanciunas is looking like a great play, probably going to be the top scoring center on tonight's slate overall, especially if that game is close, especially because Brandon Ingram has not been very good since he's come back from his little Achilles soreness injury, but he's not shooting the ball well at all. So it could be a good night for Valanciunas overall. Obviously, he does a lot in terms of rebound. He's a good passing big man as well. Reggie Jackson. So I like Reggie Jackson more if his multiplier was higher tonight. It's 1.45. He's kind of like you alluded to there. He's kind of that boom bust. He's a guy that most of the time he ends up right around 30 points before the multiplier. So after the multiplier, you're looking close to 46. If he gets over that, if he gets to 40 and then you get the multiplier, could get there, but they are playing the Suns. The Suns are one of the best defensive teams in the league, and this game has blowout risk as well. I believe the Clippers are 10.5 point underdogs the last time I looked. Let's see. So back to the guards real quick.
Sure.
We got Devin Booker at 1.25, Chris Paul at 1.3. They're both very good. They're both very much in play once again tonight. Both projecting right around 50 points. There's going to be a lot of guys on tonight's slate that after the multiplier, they project for about 48 to 53, 54 points tonight. Cade Cunningham's up there as well. We saw him play very well last night. That game ended up in a blowout. He lost some minutes there too. But, if Memphis is playing against them, Memphis is missing some guys. This could be a little bit more back and forth game. It does have a little bit of blowout risk as well. I believe the Pistons are like 11.5 point underdogs last time I checked as well. Jordan Poole should take that big step up. I think we kind of alluded to that a little bit earlier as well. Yeah. 1.55 usually takes that big step up when Steph Curry's not out there. He had been coming off the bench since he came back from the COVID list. That starting lineup is going to be very important for him because if he's not starting once again, his minutes might be limited. He might still be on a minutes restriction. If we get some type of other news that he's on a minutes restriction, that's where I'd be a little bit cautious as well. And then last but not least is Alex Burks at this guard position, 1.65. So he's looking like a guy, probably going to get you around 30 points before the multiplier. 1.65 is just a little bit too high of a multiplier for him overall. And he's been, getting bigger minutes. He's been playing a little bit better since he returned to the starting lineup.
Yeah, I'm really high on Morant for sure today. He's somebody I'm really excited to play, and Booker.
Yeah, the only thing you gotta watch out for with those Suns guards, if that game ends up in a blowout, they might lose some minutes there as well. So,
yeah, I could see that happening too. I mean, we've seen that happen to a couple guys already. Was it 2 nights ago, right?
Mm-hmm. And on all these short slates where there's only 3-4 games, I'm not gonna say there usually is, but there's a lot of times there's at least one blowout, but sometimes it's just picking the games that aren't going to go in the blowout too. It makes it a little bit interesting with SuperDraft with the multiplier though. But at the same time, players still have to go out and score points in order for a game to be a blowout. So,
all right, let's get into some of these forwards that are in play tonight.
Yeah, so Julius Randle, we've seen him come back last time from the COVID list. He was questionable for his conditioning. Tom Thibodeau said, hey, conditioning, submissioning, we don't need conditioning anyways. He ended up playing 39 minutes. He played very well. So 1.15 has him in contention, probably for one of the top point scorers on tonight's slate as well. Jason Tatum, he returned last time as well. Didn't play the best. We'll see how many minutes he plays tonight. Maybe he's restricted on the back-to-back. If he's not, could definitely be in play at 1.15 as well. Then we have Jaylen Brown at 1.2. He'd been playing pretty well before Jason Tatum came back. So kind of going back and forth between Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown there. But I think on a slate like tonight, where it is as small as a slate that it is, you're probably going to end up with one of them in your lineup. I'm not always convinced that you should play two, but there is a possibility for it as well. So let's see. So you like Michigan, 15 points and rebounds total. So I'm assuming points plus rebounds here. So I would say yes, because even on his prize pick app, I think his rebounds over under is 9. So I think there's a pretty good chance at 15 there. Let's see. So we were at Marcus Morris. So Marcus Morris is another guy, kind of like Reggie Jackson. If that Clippers game scores close, he's probably going to be one of the top real life point scorers for them, kind of the guy that can score the basket. Him and Reggie Jackson, some of those other guys can shoot a little bit as well. But if that game's competitive at 1.45, he's still going to look pretty good. Not like a priority play for me, but definitely somebody that's still in play. Andrew Wiggins, however, 1.45, no Steph Curry, looking very good tonight. So he's going to be a guy that I'm probably going to play in a couple different lineups tonight. Mm-hmm. if Jordan Poole is not in that starting lineup, I'd go even harder on Andrew Wiggins tonight, just because it's that main point scorer for them offensively, at least. And it really depends who else is in that starting lineup too, because Otto Porter Jr. could end up starting. He's down there at 1.65, but he's coming off the rest game last time. Sometimes they'll throw somebody else in that kind of 4 spot when Draymond's not out there as a placeholder, and then Otto Porter Jr. still come off the bench. But Juan Toscano Anderson is also out tonight, so he's kind of been that placeholder. They like to run Bjelica more at the 5 in the second unit, so I do assume that Otto Porter Jr. will start either way, though. And then RJ Barrett, the guy that had the big game for us the last time out at 1.55, definitely has that upside once again. Probably sits close to around 30 points, but definitely has that upside as we've seen the last time out. But that is the best game that he's had so far this season. So maybe a couple more people will be chasing it. The multiplier didn't change at all, but still not a bad play by any means.
Yeah, 1.55. I mean, even if he hits, 38 points, I'm really happy with that.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Let's get into the centers. And I'm rocking Jonas tonight for sure.
Yeah, and center, like you can throw Julius Randle in the center unit too, because he's eligible at power forward and center. So you're kind of looking at Jonas Valanciunas and Julius Randle probably competing for that top scoring center spot. There is Al Horford there, 1.35. If he comes out, he has a good game. He gets some shots, some blocks, some assists. The biggest thing with big Al Horford is he's not scoring the ball right now. And, Jason Tatum coming back definitely doesn't help that at all. And then for Robert Williams, he's dealing with that toe injury. He played 32 minutes last night, so I'm not really concerned about the minutes. If we get news that Al Horford's ruled out for rest last minute, Robert Williams looks a lot better. Otherwise, these two are just kind of you're in a big if you're in a GPP, a tournament setting, you probably want to take shots on one of them in one lineup, maybe one in another lineup. But, because most of the ownership's probably going to go to Jonas Valanciunas and Julius Randle at this position. Then Jalen Smith at 1.65. We've seen him play very well. He got in foul trouble last time out. They did as Bismack Biyombo as well, who's actually played a lot better than I thought he would, because he's never been much of a scorer, but he's been over double-digit points scored in the last 2 games. Let's see.
He said, would you take Wiggins or Jordan Poole if you had to pick one? I think I'm taking Wiggins.
So I'll take Jordan Poole if he starts. If Jordan Poole doesn't start, I'll take Wiggins. That's pretty much the way it's going to be. And and correct me if I'm wrong, I think Wiggins is only eligible at forward on SuperDraft. I could be wrong though.
I'm looking right now.
Yeah. So on SuperDraft, at least
you're right.
Kind of gonna have to pick, but I mean that's in that second set of games, so you're only so you can still pivot off of one of those if Jordan Poole doesn't end up starting.
Will you take Booker or would you take Chris Paul?
Booker or Chris Paul? That's a tough one, because I feel Booker has the more upside, and he also has the lower multiplier, but Chris Paul has the safer floor just because of the assist, and he's been doing double-digit assists 3 out of the last 4 games.
I mean, it's only a 0.05 difference.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but before the multiplier, I have Chris Paul projected for about 38, Booker projected for about 40, so it's really close. It really is.
You answered my question. Going with Booker. All right, so let's get some of these dart throws out there. And I was all about Tyus Jones. You and I were talking about it before the show, and if he ends up getting start, I think I'm starting him, man. 1.75 multiplier. I really like that.
See, I don't know that he'll for sure get the start. So he is in play for me if Dylan Brooks and DeAnthony Melton are both out. Desmond Bane's doubtful at this point in time, so he's likely to be out. I'm not sure they start Tyus Jones and Ja Morant together. I assume that Jared Culver or Zaire Williams would get the start. They play the same 3 big guys, but Jones would get a lot more minutes coming off the bench, because some of these other guys that they'd be starting probably won't get that many minutes. It's just they're in there for the first rotation in the first half, first rotation in the second half, maybe a couple other minutes in there. But Jones could push up to 28 minutes tonight, and at 1.75 offers quite a bit of upside as well. And he's a very good, in terms of guard, he's not a guy that's going to score a lot, but he's going to get assists, he's going to get steals, and that is beneficial as well. Then down at forwards, we got Brandon Clark, who is 1.75. He's in that same situation with the Memphis Grizzlies. He played more minutes the last time out. I think it was 25 minutes. He played rather well, but 1.75 definitely in play. If something would happen to Steven Adams or Jaren Jackson Jr., they get in foul trouble, his minutes could go up as well. Then Cam Johnson, let's see. So he should be 1.75 as well with Cam Johnson. And he's been scoring the ball pretty well, been shooting very well, doing a little bit in terms of rebounds and some other stats. Definitely has some upside there as well. I say that again.
I said typos.
Yeah, you're good. But I mean, I have him projected for about 27, 28 points before the multiplier, which puts him at, about 48, 49 after the multiplier, which means he's definitely in play. If he just shoots the ball a little bit better than the normally, or he scores the ball a little bit better than he has in recent games, definitely can be a 50-point guy tonight. And if you're getting guys that get to 50 points tonight, you're going to be doing pretty well. Trey Lyles at 1.85. He looked better earlier on in the day before Isaiah Stewart was back. If for some reason Trey Lyles ends up starting and Isaiah Stewart comes off the bench, then, you could look at Trey Lyles being at 1.85. I wish he was I wish he was forward and center eligible, because it'd make him a little bit nicer, could make him a center dart throw as well. And then last at that center dart throw, we have Bismack Biyombo 1.75. I wish his multiplier was a little bit better, but he had done pretty well the last couple of games. Jalen Smith, like I mentioned, kind of got in foul trouble last time out, and he scored double-digit points the last 2 times, so there is some upside there. He's always been a guy that can get some blocks and stuff like that. So, and he's been playing minutes, even though he just signed a 10-day contract. So he has some upside, as gross as he kind of sounds. I remember thinking back to him last year. Last year, there was a time, though, on DraftKings and FanDuel where you would play him for a little while when, who's this? Cody Zeller was out for a while for the Charlotte Hornets. I think it was the Hornets. But he was a good play for a while there. So he offers some upside for sure, though.
All right. I'm trying to get my SuperDraft Pro up right now. Computer's being slow. There we go. What's up? What's up? Let's see here. No questions in the chat.
Yeah, chat got quiet now.
That's all right. We're gonna start setting lineups up now, and we got some time. We still got half an hour.
Yeah,
so
give me 1 second here. There's a starting lineup that came through. So
lineups coming out. Starting lineups.
So let's see. So the Warriors will start Gary Payton II, Jordan Poole, Andrew Wiggins, Otto Porter Jr., and Kevon Looney. So Wiggins and Poole are both very much in play. So we're not really concerned about Jordan Poole there. Would be more concerned if they just started like random like Chioza or somebody like that at point guard, and then had him still coming off the bench. So I think he won't have a minutes limit tonight unless we hear otherwise. Celtics starters are Marcus Smart, Jaylen Brown, Jason Tatum, Al Horford, and Robert Williams once again. So same 5 starters as we saw last night. So no real concerns there.
What is up, Sir Bongs a lot? Cheers, brother. It's always good seeing faces here. My friends. Second Take Extra says Dennis Schroeder. Bucket getting bucket. Oh my God, bucket getter. He will be in close game. Ibaka, no Zubac or Hartenstein and Evan. Past 2 games versus Boston, he got 32. Those are my dart throws, he says.
Yeah, see, like the only way Fournier hits is if he's just making a bunch of threes, and he stays on the court. But like, it just hasn't happened like for so long. Like he's just been really bad. Ibaka, God, if Ibaka ever got the minutes, he'd be a very good play. But he's just not getting the minutes. Dennis Schroeder definitely has the most upside if he's out there scoring the ball well, but it's kind of hard with Tatum and Brown back. So I guess I don't even. What's Schroeder's multiplier? Do you know? Or can you see it?
Let's see here. Boom.
That's probably what's going to be it, because I think. God, I wish Ibaka was center eligible on SuperDraft. I think he's still only forward eligible. It's kind of annoying, even though he's playing center. That is my one thing with them. I wish they would update some of the eligibilities at least.
Yeah, I mean, that's the cool thing is we can talk to them about that shit. We can talk about it. We're looking for Schroeder.
Yep. And Dennis Schroeder at guard. I want to say he was like 1.45, but I could be wrong.
Work with me. Work with me.
Let's see.
1.55.
1.55. If I want to take a shot, I'd probably take a shot on Schroeder, I guess. Yeah, let me see.
All right. Second ticket extra says Ibaka was 7 for 7 last game. That was nuts. It must be what, 3 is on threes?
No, I think he had 7 points and 7 rebounds.
Oh.
But they just don't give him run this year. And now they have Batum back too, so it's kind of annoying. Let's see. I want to see how. I'm going to look and see how many minutes Schroeder's been playing the last couple of games.
I'm going to pull this up. Antonio says LeBron should be eligible for center. He's been playing center for some games. Yeah, he for sure has.
Yeah, he has. He has. No DFS platform that I know of has added center eligibility for LeBron at this point in time, though. So we'll see if one of them does it. The rest probably will follow suit, though, at some point in time. Let's see. Where's Dennis Schroeder? So Dennis Schroeder played 26 minutes last time out. He played 40 minutes the time before that, but that was an overtime game. Let's see. Who didn't play in that game? Tatum didn't play in that game, though. And Robert Williams both didn't play in that game. So looking at about 26. If he can get a point per minute, let's see. I gotta do math here real quick. So if he gets a point per minute at 0.55, he's at 40 points. If he can get to, let's see. If he can get to 32 at 0.55, that puts him to like about 50. So he has to get to 32 points essentially. And Fournier, I think, was 1.65. Let me just see. So you essentially need Fournier to get to 30, which means he has to make some shots, which he hasn't been doing lately. I think Schroeder's still the safest bet out of those ones. And then Ibaka was 1.85, so he has to get to 27, which he's done like maybe once or twice this year, and it was before he got injured.
Yeah, you know what? What we should do is I want to have it. Let's have everyone like help us set a lineup too. Like you and I will go through. We'll talk players, and if you guys want to help us set a lineup, we can do that shit too. So I'm gonna go through. Like you can see the comments, right? So like you can see them coming in, right? So just let me know if somebody comments because I'm gonna skip over to when I go over to SuperDraft. I can't see the comments.
Oh, you're good. Let's see.
So we're good here. So all right, let's start at guard, and I think I still want to go Morant.
And it's gonna be hard not to play him tonight, honestly.
I think he's been doing really fucking well.
Let's see. The Knicks lineup's in too. So the Knicks lineup's in too. So Alex Burks, Evan Fournier, RJ Barrett, Julius Randle, and Mitchell Robinson is starting at center. So I would consider Mitchell Robinson and play at 1.65. He needs to get up there in points to get to battle Julius Randle and Jonas Valanciunas, but I consider him in play on a small slate like tonight, though.
Yeah, dude, he might be somebody that nobody will play.
Yeah. As long as it's just for him, it's just if he gets close to 30 minutes, he'll be fine. But if he doesn't, then don't listen to mine. I'm a Knicks fan, and I'll go all Knicks. Well, some of these Knicks aren't bad tonight, especially on a 4-game slate. So could definitely be a lot worse. Maybe all Knicks is the way to go.
Yep. Second take extra says Ja versus the Pistons.
Yeah, especially if Dylan Brooks doesn't play too. Dylan Brooks is just if there's like any player I hate in the NBA, it's Dylan Brooks.
Doesn't trust Mitch, he gets in foul trouble.
He's been better at beginning. He hasn't gotten into as much foul trouble this year. In the past, he has, but this year he's been getting up there in minutes, and he hasn't been getting in as much foul trouble.
All right, let's talk about guards. So, I really want to play Barrett, but we don't have to play him.
Well, we can play him at forward. We can play Barrett at forward too.
So at guard, let's go. What do you want to go here? Do you want to go Devin Booker?
See, I like those guys, but I'm just like weary of that blowout too.
So let's go down here a little farther. So we can go Jordan Poole.
Yeah, I like Jordan Poole as long as they don't come out with some magic thing saying he's on a minutes restriction.
Who else would play though? Who else would we could pivot though? Can we pivot?
I mean, if you want to get real risky, you play Marcus Smart at 1.6, but because he's been doing well, but then Tatum can't. Like Tatum's back too, so yeah, Poole is definitely up there though. Poole, Wiggins, and Otto Porter.
Yeah,
Like
I want to play Wiggins.
I feel like you play 2 out of 3, but just really depends on which 3 you want to, or which 2 you want to play out of those 3.
So Poole, Wiggins, and who was the third one?
Otto Porter Jr.
Oh, I want to play Porter.
Yeah, he made us some money on Christmas because he scored 10 minutes. He scored 10 real life points in the last 5 minutes of that game. That was ridiculous. I'm like, oh look, Otto Porter sucked and let me down again. Oh wait. He was really good now.
Where is the fucking search button on here?
Search for available players right under the forward slot there.
We're going Wiggins.
Yep.
We're gonna start Wiggins. I think we're gonna go Brown.
Taking the Browns to the Super Bowl.
Who else do we want to play here at forward?
Let's see.
You already know I want Barrett.
I mean, I don't have a problem playing him.
Porter, you want to play Porter too? Porter with Wiggins? I mean,
I play 2 out of 3, so I play Poole and Wiggins, or I play Poole and Porter, or I play Wiggins and Porter. I don't feel comfortable playing all three of them, but
I like the multiplier. We'll go here then. Who are they? Let's see.
So that's why
at center we already know we're gonna go.
Yeah, so it's either Valanciunas or Randall. Those are like the 2 pretty much. Unless you're taking all the other ones, are you taking shots on essentially, hoping they hit. But
Randall's a beast. I was thinking about playing him at a fucking power forward at forward. And then still playing,
yeah, because you can play him and Valanciunas too. Like that's the best thing about tonight. Like there's only 4 games, so you can really mix and match a lot too, and still play a lot of these guys. And a lot of these guys do project very, very similarly tonight, especially after their multipliers.
So do we want to take out Brown and then throw in Randall and then put Jonas in at center?
Yeah, you can do that, or you can take out Porter and put Poole in and put Randall in too.
Oh yeah, that's a good idea too. I just like the multiplier of
yeah, I mean Poole's still at like 1.55 too, so it's not that big a difference.
Yeah. Let's do this here. Bam. Let's go center here. Bam. Let's see. Do we got anybody else? We got any comments at all?
Yeah, so second take extra said I go Poole, Wiggins, Randall, and Valley. So Valanciunas. Let's see.
Yeah, he says I like Poole. So yeah, we'll play Poole then. Yeah, we're gonna go for sure. Antonio, we're gonna go Randall. So we're gonna go Randall and then Poole for you guys. Yeah, Wiggins. So past 8 games, second take extra says past 8 games, JP is averaging 31 points. Yeah, Brown.
Oh, Jaylen Brown. Yeah, but all but one of those games was without Tatum too. So
yeah, I mean Tatum's back, and I mean this will be a second game back. So I mean at least he's gonna be,
We'll see how many minutes. I'm really interested to see how many minutes Tatum actually does play tonight, just because it's a back-to-back and it's a second game back.
All right, so we got our forwards and we got our center. Let's get our guards. All right, where do you want to go? Let's get one. All right, what do you guys think for a guard? We got our for sure play, the guard we're building around.
Yeah. So we were putting Jordan Poole in, right?
Yeah, Poole. That's right. We're going Poole.
Yeah. And then we just gotta figure out the last guy.
Shit, RJ Barrett.
Yeah, so second point or second take extra said you got to put Booker or CP3 in, right? Probably, but if that game ends in a blowout, then they could be less than ideal too. Clippers just aren't putting up a fight, especially like the Clippers weren't doing that good with Paul George, and now he's not there. Kawhi obviously hasn't played all season. It's just not pretty right now for the Clippers.
All right, David. I'll let you know where we're. So at guard, we have Morant and we have Poole. Those are our two guards right now. Where we're looking for the third guard. So how it is in you should know, David. But there's three guards, there's three forwards, and then there's a center. So at forward we got Wiggins and we got Brown and we got Randall. So I mean, this should be a monster team. And then we're going with Jonas at center, 1.2 multiplier.
Yeah, and they just announced the Pelicans starters. So it's Devontae Graham, Josh Hart, Brandon Ingram, Herbert Jones, and Jonas Valanciunas. So no surprises there at all. This is a pretty easy night so far. No crazy news, at least.
So you hear that, David? Let me know if you're good, brother. I want to make sure you're good. And then I think again, so do we want to go? Let's see here. Barrett play? Barrett plays at 6:30. You know who wants Barrett? Who? Antonio does.
Yeah, because he wants all the Knicks.
Knicks fan.
But do we play Barrett or do we play Burks? Burks has the extra 0.1.
Let's see.
So Josh Jackson has been getting a lot of points in garbage time for the Pistons. So if they keep the game close, he won't play. And I love me some Josh Jackson, rock chalk. He is my boy. Like, I wanted Josh Jackson to be so good. Like, he's still a very good point scorer, but the Pistons just hate him. So he only plays in garbage time. So he had double-digit points in garbage time last two games where they got blown out really bad. So unless they get blown out really bad, I don't think they get blown out really bad tonight with the Grizzlies being so shorthanded. But maybe if Dylan Brooks and DeAnthony Melton play, maybe they still get blown out. But we just need to know if those guys are playing or not. That's the biggest thing on tonight's slate, honestly.
So what do you think? You want to go Burks?
I lean Burks slightly, but we can go Barrett for you. I don't like I like it's so close. Like, and it could go either way. And maybe more people. It's hard to say if more people go Burks tonight just because he's got the better multiplier, or if more people go Barrett just because he had the bigger game the last time out. You know,
he did have the bigger game. Let's see here. Let's look at the so. From what they're projecting, they're projecting 20. Where was that? Where is he? So Barrett's projected at 27.1 points. With his multiplier, it's at 42. It could be up or down from there, obviously.
Oh, that's his fantasy. That's his average points on the season. But yeah, but personally, I have them both projected right around 30 points tonight, and Burks has a slightly better multiplier. But it could go either way. Like, whoever makes the shots.
Who is better at defense?
Yeah, they both suck at defense. NBA, they don't play defense in the NBA anymore, anyways.
All right. Well, who has more assists?
Should be Burks, but
Burks is
not by a lot.
Let's see here.
Should be, but
shooting threes.
What?
Say who's better at shooting threes?
Probably Burks.
Yeah, I'm already starting to lean Burks. I was just looking at his stats.
Yeah, they both get huge minutes. It's just whoever scores more real life points. Like, that's what's going to end up being at the end of the day.
Let's see. Yes, assists are about the same.
Here, I'm going to pull up this comment.
Rebounds, though. Rebounds is another one. I mean, Barrett's averaging about 6.
Yeah, it just depends. Like, some games he gets 3, some games he gets 6.
He just played 41 minutes last week. That was why
they both play ridiculous minutes, and Tom Thibodeau runs his starters into the ground minutes wise. So both those guys are going to play like 34 plus minutes.
Let's go Burks. I'm going to lean on your side of this. I like Barrett, but you know what? Let's just pivot and let's try that. So what we got here, here's the lineup. Second take extra says Graham is getting my attention. What do you guys think?
So I love Devontae Graham myself because he is another Jayhawk. Why are you bringing up all my Jayhawks? I've loved Devontae Graham for a long time, but he's a point guard that doesn't get any assists. That's kind of a negative against him. He scored 40 points before the multiplier last time out, or right around there, because I was looking on DraftKings or FanDuel earlier today. He has been really disappointing so far this season. He definitely offers a lot of upside. He's probably not going to guarantee a lot of ownership. So if you want to take a chance on him, he's somebody that's worth taking a chance on. He's not the safest play in the world, though, by any means.
All right. David, you listening in, brother? Because I want you to get this lineup in, and I want you to win money. So here we go.
Do I think? So I seen this too.
Guard. What's up?
I was just going to answer his next question, but you can go ahead.
Oh no, I didn't see it. Sorry.
Yeah. So is another Graham question. Do you think Graham puts a 15 tonight? The answer to that question depends on how terrible or how well Brandon Ingram shoots, and he's been shooting pretty terribly. Let me go back here real quick. I just want to see what Graham's done the last couple of games for points wise. I'm getting it up here real quick. Where the heck is he? So he's at 14.5 on Prize Picks. He had 28 the last time, 11, 14, 18, 15. Probably not something I'd bet on myself, especially if Brandon Ingram actually starts to shoot the ball and see it go through the hoop, because he's been really bad since he's came back. So there's the opportunity for it, but it's not something like I go out and make a bet on myself personally.
All right. Let's get through this lineup. Maybe we could talk about some props on their super draft shit. At least you and I can go through one, set one, and see if we hit on it. All right, Ja Morant, we're taking him for sure at guard. He's gonna be, he's gonna be our for sure guy. He's gonna be one of our studs. One of our guys we're gonna build around. So we went with Jordan Poole at guard as well. One of y'all, let's get this. I mean, 1.55 multiplier. I think you should be able to put up some big points.
As long as you don't have some type of minutes restriction, that's the only thing with him. But they haven't said anything yet, so I ain't too worried about it.
Then we went with Alec Burks, and that's on you. I mean, I wanted to go RJ, but I think it's a good idea to kind of go off of that, just because I think everybody else will be on that that train. 1.65, and if you're projecting him to have the same points scored, I mean that's a better upside play. So we got Morant, Poole, Burks at guard. So the three at forward we got Andrew Wiggins. So we went Andrew Wiggins at 1.45. Then we want Jaylen Brown at 1.2. And y'all said Julius Randle. John Randle, Jesus. Julius Randle at 1.15. I mean, I wanted to play him too. I want to play both of these guys, him and Jonas.
Yep.
And Jonas, at center is what we're going to go. Jonas at center. I mean, he's just a beast. 1.2 multiplier.
Yep. And should be a relatively good matchup for him against Kevon Looney tonight and Nemanja Bjelica. Just because I like saying Nemanja Bjelica.
So this is the lineup that we're going to submit as a team. Get it in. I mean, you can pivot in any way, So if you're listening in, you heard some of the notes, some of the guys that we said to play. So let's submit this one, and I'll show you some other ones that I put into if anybody wants to just at least see them. Okay, let's go to upcoming. So here I played Morant, Poole, Burks, Wiggins, Brown, Randall. I think that's the same one as no, yeah, I guess it is this. No. Then I got so I pivoted on one. I went Poole, Morant, Booker, Randall, Wiggins, Brown, Jonas. And then I got another one with Poole, Morant, Jones, Randall, Porter, Brown, and then Jonas.
Yeah. You said John Randall before, didn't you? You want to play a Viking?
Yeah, I'm going to play a Viking, a small Viking.
Vikings defensive tackle.
Yeah, small defensive tackle.
He's pretty good.
Very intimidating. Very, very intimidating. All right, let's see here. Boom, boom, boom. Where are we?
Let's see.
Oh, he said perfect. Yeah, Second Take Extra said perfect. Thanks. Hell yeah, David. I mean, you can play any one of those lineups if you want, David. We're just trying to hit, man. We did really well last night, and like I said, sometimes you got to just move off of some of the players too. Like pay attention as shit keeps going on through the night. There are people you can pivot to. Like I still want to play, shit. Who did I want to play?
Well, even with what I mentioned earlier with the Warriors, I think you play 2 out of those 3 guys, and you could even take the same lineup and just keep rotating those 3 guys, the 2 out of the 3 guys, and have 3 different lineups just from that. So then you have exposure to Poole and Wiggins together, Wiggins and Porter together, Poole and Porter together. Especially since those should be the 3 main guys tonight. If you want to throw in some shots like on an Andre Iguodala, Nemanja Bjelica, Gary Payton II, because there's going to be some type of value on that team overall tonight because there's no Steph Curry, there's no Draymond Green. So that opens up like 60% of the usage available to the team now.
And if we end up finding out Tyus Young is a starter,
Tyus Jones.
Yeah, Tyus Jones. Jesus Christ, my fucking brain isn't working today. If he's the starter tonight, I think I'm gonna pivot on one and just play him.
Let's see.
At least see if it happens, especially with
we don't have any news on that game yet. We don't have any news if Brooks or Melton are playing yet. So that's going to be one. It's probably not going to be until our show's done, but maybe a little bit after that, we might have some news.
All right.
On Iguodala is probably your punt play, like, because he can come out and just do like a whole bunch of stuff in a little bit of minutes.
Let's see if we can get a props. See if we can get a props bet. Some props, player props in. NBA. All right.
Yeah, just tell me what you got.
Julius Randle, 9.5 rebounds. What about RJ Barrett? 2.5 assists. He's been averaging more than that.
He's been getting about 3 a game lately, so it's not a bad bet.
Let's see here. I think I said assists, right? That's what I said.
Yeah, I think so.
Shit.
It's like 2.5, right?
Yeah, I think his rebounds is what he's doing. Yeah, I don't know if I want to do that. If he had rebounds on here for like that shit, I'd be taking that for sure.
Nah. It's not a bad bet though because he's been getting about 3 a game. So
we want to get some for sure's though.
Yeah. Do they have anything? Do they have any points scored for Otto Porter Jr. on there? I know there's not like a ton of things on there.
Yeah, there's not yet, which is crazy because this is like still a beta yet.
Because I know
if we're playing Andrew Wiggins, what about Andrew Wiggins over under 21.5?
Yeah, you can take that. That's one of the ones that Second Take Extra was asking about earlier. He said 22 points. So yeah, I feel pretty good about that one.
Okay, we'll do that one. Let's see, we got 6 minutes.
Or reasonably good about it, at least,
What about
come out and shoot terrible?
Ja Morant over 26.5
points?
Yeah, it's pretty high.
I'm not taking that one just because they could get, because it could be a blowout too. Like it should happen, but if it's a blowout, then it might not happen.
Yeah, their assists play isn't very good. What about Chris Paul over or under 14.5 points?
It's probably that's probably an under, but I don't know if it's one that I particularly want to bet on.
How's Devin Booker shooting threes right now?
What's how many 3-pointers made?
2.5.
2.5. That's same as Prize Picks. He's done it in 4 out of the last 5 games. I know that off the top of my head.
Yeah,
it's not a bad bet, but if that game gets in a blowout and he's stuck at 2, then it might not hit 2. So like, I'm not against doing that one by any means, though. Let's see.
Oh, Max Kellerman. He's making fun of Max Kellerman.
Oh, because he got booted now, I think.
Kellerman, let's see. Let's get one. What about Julius Randle over 21.5?
Over 21.5. That's a tough one because there's some games where he goes over, and then there's some games where he just like passes the ball a ton.
I might take his rebounds over 9.5.
No,
his rebounds
not with Robinson starting. If Robinson wasn't starting, I'd think about it, but with Robinson starting, it's not something I want to do.
Some of these are tough because they're close. What about Marcus Smart, 10.5 points?
Marcus Smart, 10.5 points. He's done it
I'll take
lately, but then Tatum's
Yeah.
back tonight too.
That's all right. I'll take 10.5. That's not that hard to do. Yeah, Tatum was back last night though.
Yeah, that's his first game back though.
That's true.
I don't know. Like, I'm not against it, but it's just like, I don't know. Big Al, 6.5 rebounds. That's not a bad one.
Jonas
He usually gets about
What
7.
do you think about Jonas over 17.5?
17.5? That's what the line is on it now?
Yeah.
God, it was like 14.5 on Prize Picks earlier today. I guess I'd take under.
You take under?
Yeah. That's a lot of freaking rebounds.
No, not rebounds, points.
Oh.
17.5 points.
Points, probably. He should go over that. I thought you were talking rebounds. I'm like, it was like 14.5 earlier today.
Well, he's got 11.5 here. Want to take that for rebounds?
11.5. That'd be close. I think he gets 12, but it's gonna be close.
I think we can only do him only one player prop on him.
Probably. That makes sense. Let's see. Who else they got up there?
Yeah, Wiggins. What about Looney? Looney, 7.5 rebounds.
I'll probably say over just because he's gonna be there's no Draymond, so he's got to be out on the court more, and he's got to be out on the court more against Valanciunas. So 7.5, probably gets 8 or 9.
What about Gary Payton over 12.5
points?
That's close, yeah.
Nah.
No.
He ain't that. Some games he'll score, but he ain't much of a scorer.
Let's see here.
Let's see. Second take extra has 33.5 par. So I assume points, rebounds, plus assists for Valanciunas. So if you say he gets 18 points, 12 rebounds, and a couple assists, that gets him there. So yeah, I'll probably take the over on that tonight.
Cade Cunningham. What about him? Rebounds.
No.
Yeah, no.
Do they
5.5?
Do they have any other props on Cade besides rebounds?
No, they don't really. It sucks because they don't really put it in order like that. Oh shit! I gotta get some in.
Because I bet the over assist on him on Prize Picks. I think 6. If you're on Prize Picks, the fantasy points over on Cade Cunningham's pretty tempting too. John Morant's pretty tempting on there. Let me see. I can let people know what I bet on there. Let's see. Load already. So if you're on Prize Picks, I bet the over on John Morant's fantasy points at 47, Cade Cunningham over 6 assists, and over on 12.5 points for Otto Porter Jr. tonight.
Dang, dude. Something went wrong. It said
let's see.
Shit, it's unavailable. Our game started anyways.
Well, the one game started.
Let's see. I'm gonna have to do something different then. Because it's like I had time and it's like service unavailable. It's like, what the shit?
Yeah, so let's see what else we got tonight. So we have see if any of these other ones look really good.
Now I gotta remember what my shit was.
I might be crazy, but 6.5 points with Mitchell Robinson in the starting lineup seems pretty low for him for an over-under. That's on Prize Picks. He scored 8 the last time off the bench, 9, 7, 14 before that. So 4 out of the last 5 games he's hit. 4 in a row, though. Let's see. Dennis Schroeder, 12.5. That one's not a bad over. What's this one?
Hmm.
I really, really, really want to bet the under on 21.5 points on Brandon Ingram tonight. But I know if I do, he's actually going to shoot the ball well for once. That's the worst part.
I'm going under 14.5 points on Chris Paul.
Chris Paul, yeah. Because he's not, like, he doesn't score the ball a ton to start off with. And then if that game's a blowout, then he loses more minutes to potentially score even.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see. I wonder if it's crazy to bet the under on Devin Booker points. It's at 26.5.
Yeah, here it's 25.5.
Yeah.
I mean, it's definitely something that could happen. Like with what you
Well,
said.
it's just, they got a Bismack Biyombo prop now. Over 6.5 points. He has 11 and 16 so far this year. But I don't know if he gets over 6.5. That's the worst part. He's done it the both games this year, but it scared the crap out of me.
Rebounds. Let's look at these rebounds.
See, they bumped Julius Randle's up to 9.5 on Prize Picks now too for the rebounds. Big Al 6.5. Mitchell Robinson 7.5 rebounds. Probably take the over on that. He's done it 3 out of the last 4 games. Actually, 4 out of the last 5 games. I can't read. Let's see.
I need one more.
Do we know if let's see. Is Isaiah Stewart starting? Where is, I got too many screens open.
Hey, you guys, we're just bullshitting now. I mean, games have started, so we're just bullshitting now. We're talking about some prize picks. So I'm still doing some props, player props.
So we got a lineup for the Grizzlies, though.
Oh yeah, spit it out, brother.
Supposedly, this is the lineup from RotoWire, at least. So it's Ja Morant, Zaire Williams at the shooting guard, Dylan Brooks at small forward. So Dylan Brooks is in tonight. Cuts off a little bit of Ja Morant's upside, maybe makes this game a little bit blowout potential, but I hate Dylan Brooks, Jaren Jackson, and Steven Adams.
I can hate him.
Well, if you watch him, he's just a dick at Oregon. Like, he's that guy that fake flop all the time, and he thinks he's he thinks he's the greatest. Like, he thinks he's Kobe Bryant. Like, he thinks he's that good, and he just takes any shot he wants. So
maybe he is.
Let's see. Yeah, so that one. Yeah, so that was confirmed by 2 different sources. So Ja Morant, Dylan Brooks, Zaire Williams, Jaren Jackson Jr., and Steven Adams. So if you want to take a dart throw on Zaire Williams on SuperDraft at the forward position, I believe he is a 2x multiplier. So if he gets enough minutes, he could pay off tonight, but that's a dart throw.
I'm going to play a dart throw team.
All dart throw?
Yeah. I mean, I saw that earlier. I was going through like all the really bad lineups, and there was one that was just all huge multipliers, and it just did not hit.
I do that sometimes. I do big multipliers for NFL a lot, but not as much basketball. Because, like, especially on shorter slates, sometimes you need the guys that are are going to score points too. Let's see, where's that?
Any other lineups coming out?
No, that's it. The only one we're waiting on is the Pistons. So, but here's the thing: is Brooks is in the starting lineup, but there's no news whether Melton's playing or not. But he probably comes off the bench either way. So I'm just gonna assume he's playing. So Tyus Jones doesn't look that great. Tyus Jones looked good.
Dude, he doesn't look that great now. Damn it.
No, because Brooks is starting. Melton typically doesn't start. They're starting Zaire Williams anyways, or they are in place of Bane, but I think Melton's back, but there's no official news on it. So Tyus Jones, he is more interesting when he might get 28 minutes, but I don't think he gets 28 minutes now. He probably gets like 22, 24.
Sit your ass down, Tyus. David, let's get it, dude. Let's make that money tonight, man. It's so fun. I mean, I didn't even check my lineup yet for golf. It was weird.
Well, There's still probably gonna be like 3 hours till all the guys get done playing, anyways.
I know, dude. Hawaii. Well,
It'll
I'm
be like
winning
2
money here.
o'clock here.
I'm winning. Let's see. Oh, that's basketball.
Hey, look, we're winning in basketball already.
I know, crushing.
There's only one game.
Damn, dude. Fucking the stash, bro. I knew I should have started the stash. If
What's
I
he
would have
at?
known, if I would have saw, when we were talking earlier, if I would have saw this motherfucker with that gangster ass stash that he has, that what did I call it? It's not even a porn stash. It's
It's
oh, it's like a
the
barber quartet, like a barber quartet stash. I'm like, this dude, I would have played him. He's in third place right now.
you know who's sucking?
Who?
Justin Thomas, +2.
JT.
But that's how he is, though. Like some days he'll just shoot like 6 over, then like the next day he'll come out and shoot like 10 under.
Shit, Reed's having a bad day too. I think they're probably just playing fucking super risky. That's what it is.
Well, so here's the thing with
Got
that
3 bogeys
is
for Reed, 1 birdie.
the guys that play later on in the day, the wind was
Yeah,
kicking up more
wind
later
was.
on in the day too. So you might have just been better off playing all the early guys. Maybe, I don't know. Like Sanjay's still 5 under and he's still on. He's only through hole 13. He's in fourth. Let's see who's doing good. Just because
Who's doing good? Smith isn't. He's doing good. He's the one. I think he almost had a hole in one earlier. He's got 2 eagles, 2 eagles and 5 birdies. And he's got a
Oh
birdie
yeah, he
streak.
really picked it up late.
Birdie streak.
Oh, that sucks too. He's one of the pro pick one guys. Yeah, he had 5 birdies, 2 eagles.
Yeah, he had a birdie run. So the birdie run helps. So you get 3 points for that. Man, dude, the Rubian, the fucking stash, bro.
Yeah, him and that Herbert was even 4 under too. So hopefully some of these other
bogey free. He got he's in third and he's got a birdie streak too. 3 birdie streak.
Yeah.
So in bonuses, that's 11, 4, 5, 6, 7, 18 points just in bonuses.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing. If you can go bogey free, that's like extra points for free.
Fucking Hovland finished in 10th, man. And he was crushing. Yeah, that one really bad hole.
Double bogey. Him and Koepka both got double bogey on that hole. They both hit it out of bounds off the tee shot.
Yeah, but Koepka took the drop and Hovland, he actually hit it out of that brush. They had to like sit there.
No,
and,
he tried to, and then he finally did end up taking it.
Well, I thought he said they could take it as he said it was like in as long as you find your ball, I think you can move it as long as it's backwards and it's not out of bounds.
Yeah, so he was going to do it. He was going to try to do it. Like he went over there to try to do it, and then he's just like, yeah, this probably isn't going to work. And his caddy kind of like talked him out of it too.
Yeah, I think I wonder if you get a stroke or not for that. I don't think so though. I think it's in the rules you're not getting a stroke because it's on. I don't know. I don't even know.
He still gets an extra stroke because it was unplayable.
Oh.
So then you drop it on the other side of the brush.
He still played it out of the brush though. That's the thing. He still played it out of the brush and he hit it like into the sand trap. Which was crazy.
Just hope these last guys do pretty good. Maybe Sanjay, come on, Sanjay, you get in first place by the end of the day. He's like 5 under. He's in fourth.
Yeah, it was a bad day. It's going to be a little bit different. What's crazy is this one was like, just a lot of nobodies really. So some of the bigger names, they'll probably play better as the days go on. I should have thought about that a little bit, different strategies, and also like going with some of the guys that are in the, like I said, I think I said that to you earlier. I was like, I want to play like the guys that are like some of the first guys out, just because there's nobody in front of them. They don't have anything to worry about. It's just them versus the course, and not really them versus the board.
See, I don't think most of the people are playing too much against the board. It's just kind of the wind kicked up later on in the afternoon too. At least especially on the back nine. Because that's what took Koepka and Hovland. They were only in the second group too. That's what kicked their balls out of bounds.
Yeah, that
whole play however you want to say it.
He's like his caddy, Koepka's caddy is like, I told you the wind was blowing.
He's like, I told you could shoot over here.
Freaking A, Koepka. Well, all right, let's get out of here. Tell him where to find you at, Craig.
Yeah, you can find me on Twitter at Coach Craig Sport, on YouTube at Coach Craig Sports. If you're interested in some football data, some draft prospects, stuff like that, check out Coach Craig Sports on Patreon as well. But that's pretty much it. And, hopefully we do some pretty good things in basketball tonight. Hopefully our golf lineup comes through as well.
Well, we'll see. Golf is just a little bit different. I have to get used to it again. Since I haven't been, I still follow golfers. It's just, it's just a little bit different when you're playing DFS, especially with these multipliers and shit on here. It's a lot different.
Yep.
All right, go get signed up on SuperDraft Pro, sdcoachjc.com. We still got my man Craig's here, an extra special little, website for him, so it's easier for people to get in and get subbed up. Make sure you get in there if you want to talk. If you have any questions about SuperDraft Pro or anything, or you just want to hit me up, go hit me up on Instagram or on Twitter. And that's at JC Money Design, just like my YouTube at JC Money Design. So go hit me up. But we're going to get out of here. I think tomorrow there's some fantasy news today in the morning, same time as it always is. And that'd be 3:05 Central Time. So we just go off Central Time here since we're a Central Time channel.
It's easy for us.
It's easy for us. But yeah, and then we're gonna be back again. I think, what do we got tomorrow?
It's a 9-game NBA slate, and it starts at 6, I believe.
So then we'll be back here again for basketball at 5 Central, and just make sure you get in here. Make sure you get subbed up. Talk some football, or sorry, talk some basketball.
All things SuperDraft.
SuperDraft, give me money.